Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal Part 346 based on novel. So let's start. There were tiny lightning bolts swarming around each of the thunder fruits inside the valley. This is the thunder fruit. Wang Lin reached out and one of the fruits flew into his hand. He carefully looked at the green fruit, and it did contain some thunder power. It could improve the body inside and out, making it more suitable for using thunder spells. In Qi Ji and Yu Fei's memory, this thunder fruit can be exchanged for one thunder crystal. Wang Lin looked at the fruit but didn't swallow it. Instead, he crushed the fruit and a small flash of thunder appeared and was absorbed by his right hand into his origin soul. Wang Lin closed his eyes and silently observed the power of thunder from the fruit. A moment later, he opened his eyes. They were filled with thunder. His gaze penetrated the valley to outside the cave and he muttered, "I was going to go steal, but I didn't expect someone to deliver themselves to me." At this moment, the 4 rays of light arrived near the cave. Without the need for the nascent soul old man to speak, one of the core formation cultivators walked out and shouted, "Qi Ji, the heavenly thunder sect is here. Come out and greet us." This voice echoed for a long time inside the cave. The nascent soul old man looked down at the restrictions outside the cave and frowned. When Wang Lin walked through, he didn't activate any and found them insignificant. However, to this old man, they were very intricate. He faintly felt a sense of crisis. Since this Qi Ji was able to become a nascent soul old monster, he can't be underestimated. Just the restrictions outside the cave are not simple. He stopped the core formation cultivator from speaking and gloomily said, "Fellow cultivator Qi, I'm Qiu Dehai, one of the 4 grand elders of the Heavenly Thunder sect. Today, I became because my sect master will soon reach the scatter thunder rankings. I ask fellow cultivator Qi to donate some magical treasures and pills." His voice was gloomy, and he had spread out his entire mid-stage nascent soul cultivation into his voice, letting it drift into the cave. Just as his voice echoed, the door to the cave rumbled and opened. Something was thrown out. It was Qi Ji, who was in a coma. This sudden scene startled the 3 core formation cultivators and caused Qiu Dehai's pupils to shrink. "Are you looking for him?" A cold voice came from inside the cave, and following the voice was Wang Lin in white. As he calmly and slowly walked outside, a faint pressure spread out. You're Yu Fei." One of the core formation cultivators apparently recognized Yu Fei at a glance. However, under this pressure, his core trembled and his voice was filled with disbelief. The nascent soul old man stared at Wang Lin. His nascent soul trembled and he had a bad feeling. Wang Lin was standing right there, but when his divine sense swept by, he found nothing. It was as if this person didn't exist. He had only felt this feeling from his sect master. However, he had a feeling that even if his sect master was here, his sect master wouldn't be able to detect this person at all. What made his scalp numb even more was the pressure coming from this person. This pressure was extremely strong, and under this pressure, he felt the spiritual energy inside his body stop. Those cold words seemed to contain a tearing force that was going to rip him from the inside out. Cold sweat covered his forehead, and Qiu Dehai swallowed hard. He slowly backed away and clasped his hands. "This old man doesn't know this Qi Ji, and this is my first time meeting him. Since fellow cultivator was here first, then this old man will leave. It's all a misunderstanding, a misunderstanding." He suppressed the trembling of his nascent soul and slowly retreated. He felt that this person was too powerful for him to resist. It was best to let him go and return back to the sect. The 3 core formation cultivators also felt like something was wrong. They retreated in terror and were about to leave this place. "You're just going to leave like this?" Wang Lin revealed a smile that wasn't a smile and looked at the 4 of them. This gaze made Qiu Dehai's heart skip a beat, and he didn't hesitate to wave his hand to push the 3 core formation cultivators toward Wang Lin as a shield. He quickly retreated and was covered in cold sweat when he was about to teleport away. The Scatter Thunder clan didn't allow clan members to kill each other, but you could waste their cultivation or kill indirectly. This old man knew all of this very well, and he had done it many times. At this moment, he was terrified, and his first thought was to escape. Wang Lin ignored that teleporting nascent soul cultivators and waved his right hand. Those 3 core formation cultivators all screamed miserably as the marks between their eyebrows collapsed and large amounts of treasures flew out. Wang Lin put them all away before stepping into the sky. The 3 core formation cultivators coughed out blood and fell to the ground one by one, their cores all collapsed. Although they weren't dead, their cultivation had been wasted. Qiu Dehai had heard those mournful cries after he teleported. The chill in his head had increased, and he didn't hesitate to teleport away. When he reappeared, he was already far away. The moment he reappeared, he teleported once more. After doing this several times, he had used almost all the spiritual energy in his body, but he didn't dare to stop. He took some pills and teleported once more. Wang Lin's figure and voice became a dark cloud that weighted heavily on his nascent soul. He feared that he was too slow and would get caught. He teleported more than 10 times and rushed out more than 50,000 kilometers. During this time, he had devoured a large amount of pills and could be said to be running for his life. He had even crushed the jade from his sect to summon help from surrounding sect members. There were many small sects like the Heavenly Thunder sect. The clan would naturally not interfere and would actually encourage people to form and join sects. Qiu Dehai was covered in cold sweat, short of breath, and had teleported many times. After a teleport, there was a flash of light before him and a middle-aged man in green walked out. He frowned and looked at Qiu Dehai. "Elder Qiu, what did you encounter to make you so scared that you even called for help?" After Qiu Dehai saw the middle-aged man, he felt relieved, but he didn't answer the question. He immediately looked back and his divine sense spread out behind him. Only after he found no trace of Wang Lin did he let out a wry smile. He looked at the middle-aged man and was about to speak. However, just at this instant, a voice that made Qiu Dehai lose his wits appeared like the cold wind. "Not going to run?" Qiu Dehai felt his scalp go numb and his eyes filled with monstrous panic. He no longer dared to talk with the middle-aged man and immediately began to teleport away. The middle-aged man was also startled. When Wang Lin's voice echoed, he felt like his nascent soul was hit by a hammer and coughed out blood. After seeing Qiu Dehai's behavior, endless terror arose inside him and he didn't hesitate to teleport away like Qiu Dehai. "If the 2 of you split apart, I'll destroy both your cultivations." The 2 of them ran like crazy and teleported non-stop, using all the pills they had. They didn't dare to stop or separate from each other. However, after teleporting a few times, the consumption of spiritual energy was too great for the 2 of them to bear. "Qiu Dehai, you provoked such a person and then dragged me into it." The middle-aged man gnashed his teeth as he escaped and stared with Qiu Dehai with anger. Qiu Dehai's face was pale and filled with fear. He wanted to speak, but the voice that made the 2 of them panic echoed once more. "Keep asking for help and call all the nascent soul cultivators of your Heavenly Thunder sect. Take me to your Heavenly Thunder sect, otherwise I'll waste your cultivation." The middle-aged man took out a jade and crushed it to request for help before Qiu Dehai. He hated Qiu Dehai to the bones, and if he couldn't drag more people down with him, he couldn't vent the anger in his heart. After 1 hour, an extremely strange scene unfolded on this planet. 4 nascent soul cultivators were escaping in panic. 3 of them revealed intense hatred along with the panic. Wang Lin calmly walked behind the 4 of them. Along the way, as Qiu Dehai and company had called for help, the other 2 elders arrived. The 4 of them escaped together and had to listen to Wang Lin's request to escape toward the Heavenly Thunder sect. A mountain appeared in the distance. This mountain wasn't big, but there were clouds around it. There were also stone steps winding from the peak. There were some building on top of the mountain. It had the look of a sect. When the 4 terrified cultivators brought Wang Lin here, Qiu Dehai quickly said with a trembling voice, Senior. This is the Heavenly Thunder sect." Along the way, the 4 of them had been forced to rush as fast as they could. Adding the panic and terror they felt, their minds were tormented the entire way. Wang Lin looked at the mountain and waved his right hand. A gust of wind appeared and wrapped around the 4 nascent soul cultivators. The 4 of them let out screams and their thunder marks were broken open. Large amounts of treasures flew out of them. Wang Lin put them away, and at the same time, the gust of wind smashed through the clouds and the four of them landed at the square of the Heavenly Thunder Sect. The entire Heavenly Thunder Sect was completely silent. Some of the weaker cultivators were originally cultivating in the square. After seeing the four head elders being tossed into the square, they were speechless. Senior, you finally came. In this silence, a person suddenly charged out. He was thin and looked ordinary, but he was at the early stage of soul formation. His eyes were crystal clear as he looked at Wang Lin with excitement in his eyes. When I saw Senior, my heart couldn't settle down for a long time. Senior's cultivation is heaven-piercing and your style is unmatched. In that short moment, I felt as if I had seen Senior many reincarnation cycles ago. I couldn't calm myself and only wanted to see Senior a bit more before my lifespan ended. Every time I looked, the spiritual energy in my body would move on its own and even my cultivation would increase, as if I had devoured countless thunder fruits. Only someone like Senior would have such an ability. Not even the elders of the Scatter Thunder clan, not even the clan head could compare to Senior when they were at your age. Senior, Junior asks for nothing and is willing to hand over everything I have collected to Senior. I only hope that Senior would let me stay with Senior so I can see Senior often and witness Senior's rise. Let me be Senior's lackey, let me clear the path, let me slaughter all of Senior's enemies, let me dedicate my life to Senior until my death. Even with Wang Lin's cultivation, he couldn't help but be startled by these words from this skinny man, and he couldn't help but think of Shu Ligua. In truth, it was not only him. If any other cultivator were to see this, they would be stunned on the spot. The skinny cultivator had spewed out a lot of words, and they were all filled with sincerity. Below him, the members of the sect were all gobsmacked. They had been in the Heavenly Thunder Sect for a while, but they had never seen their always majestic and domineering sect master speak words like this. Wang Lin's always calm expression turned into a strange smile when he heard the words of this skinny cultivator. The skinny cultivator didn't reveal any hint of falsehood, as if everything he had said was natural and true. His expression really made it difficult for Wang Lin to attack and waste his cultivation. With Wang Lin's wisdom, he had naturally seen through that this was all this skinny cultivator's plan. The skinny cultivator knew that he couldn't resist, and this was the only way to keep his cultivation. What is your name? Wang Lin landed on the ground like a willow leaf fluttering in the wind. He stood at the center of the Heavenly Thunder Sect square. Answer: my name is Zhong Big Red. Zhong like Little Zhong and Red like Little Red. Junior has only ever respected one person. Let me clear the path, let me. The skinny cultivator was going to continue when he was interrupted by Wang Lin. Enough. Hand over everything you have gathered that can be used to exchange for thunder crystals. Although Big Red looked calm, he was scared out of his wits. Earlier, he was cultivating in the main hall when he heard 4 heavy objects smash into the square. His divine sense spread out to find his 4 head elders thrown to the ground with their cultivations wasted. He was startled and became furious. However, that anger completely disappeared when he saw Wang Lin, and he trembled. He was at the early stage of soul formation, and although he didn't cultivate domains like inner realm cultivators, his mark was 30% active. Also, due to his cultivation level, he had come into contact with other cultivators, and the highest level one he had met was at the ascendant stage. When he sensed Wang Lin, he was terrified to the point that it felt like the world was going to fall apart. This feeling was several times more powerful than when he met the ascendant cultivator. Luckily, he was extremely clever and didn't hesitate to change that terror into excitement, followed by his rapid flattery. He had only used this trick 3 times in his life. The first time was when he was at the foundation establishment stage and had to revolve a crisis. The second time was when he was at the nascent soul stage. He escaped from the ascendant cultivator with mere a scare and had even obtained some benefits. This was the 3rd time he had used this invincible art. In Big Red's point of view, out of all his spells, this invincible art was his true ace, and it could save him at critical moments. So he had practiced it in secret until he was extremely proficient at it. It was his ace, so he only ever used it as a last resort. When he heard Wang Lin's order, he quickly formed a seal and hit the mark between his eyebrows. There was a flash and things that could be exchanged for thunder crystals flew out until they formed a small mountain. Senior, this is everything Junior has gathered over the years. Although there isn't anything extremely valuable, there are a lot of things. Junior estimates that these should be worth around 50,000 thunder crystals. After he spoke, he carefully observed Wang Lin's expression. When he saw Wang Lin frown, he immediately became terrified, then he clenched his teeth and quickly spoke. Senior, Junior also has some treasures to give Senior. As he spoke, his right hand hit his mark once more and 3 more items flew out. The first was a branch as thick as an arm, but it was flashing with thunder. The second was a pill that gave off a green glow. The third was an ancient mirror. These 3 items are things Junior had specially prepared for Senior. Just these 3 can be exchanged for 10,000 thunder crystals. Wang Lin looked at Big Red with a smile that wasn't a smile. His gaze made Big Red's scalp numb, and just as he was about to speak, Wang Lin waved his sleeves, causing everything that could be exchanged for thunder crystals to disappear. No one had noticed him open a spatial crack, and a divine sense filled with ecstasy rushed out of it. Master, you finally remembered me. Ah, little Shu has been teaching that Liu Jinbiao a lesson all these years and hasn't been lazy at all. Although Shu Ligua's cry had come from the storage space crack, to everyone else, it seemed to have come from the void. At the same time, Shu Ligua appeared in the Heavenly Thunder sect. After Big Red heard Shu Ligua's voice, his eyes narrowed as if he had met the most powerful enemy in his life. Master, I have been following your order and have been tormenting Liu Jinbiao. That old boy is actually quite pitiful. He could have offended anyone, but he had to offend my mighty, handsome, and powerful master. The moment Shu Ligua appeared, he didn't even look at his surroundings. His face was filled with flattery as he rubbed his hands and stared at Wang Lin with a pitiful expression. Wang Lin's expression was neutral, but Big Red felt his heart skip a bit. His pupils shrank as he shot Shu Ligua a stare filled with hostility. He had only faintly felt that Shu Ligua was a powerful enemy, but now it was clear. This person had the same invincible art as him. Seeing how the other was able to embody the invincible arts in just a few words, it was a level above his long speech. Archrival. This person must be my archrival. Big Red took a deep breath and began to observe. Master, please don't send me back too quickly, considering how loyal and hard-working little Shu has been. Shu Ligua revealed a mournful expression. Big Red looked at Shu Ligua, and his expression became even more serious. Even his expression contains the true meaning of the invincible art. Wang Lin revealed a smile that wasn't a smile as his gaze moved between Shu Ligua and Big Red. The reason he had summoned Shu Ligua was somewhat related to Big Red. Perhaps it would be better for Shu Ligua to gather thunder crystals in the Scatter Thunder clan for me. Wang Lin made up his mind, then he nodded slightly and slowly said, if you do this well, we can talk about it. With that, Wang Lin sent out a message to Shu Ligua, giving his order, and as Shu Ligua listened, his body began to tremble. He was trembling due to excitement, and after Wang Lin finished, he looked up with excitement and laughed. No one is better than your grandeur. Little Shu. Master, rest assured, a mere billion thunder crystals, leave it to me. The bad feeling inside Big Red became even stronger. He quickly took a few steps forward, looked at Wang Lin with a respectful gaze, and said, Senior, Junior hasn't finished speaking. Junior still has a treasure that can be exchanged for 10,000 thunder crystals. Only someone like Senior can possess such a treasure. After he spoke, he hit his mark again, and there was a flash of light. A flying sword flew out and gave off a chilling aura. Wang Lin revealed a smile as he nodded slightly and put the flying sword away. Shu Ligua looked around and then looked at Big Red. He hadn't paid attention to the surrounding people earlier, but now he immediately felt that something was wrong. This person is giving off a faint scent of shamelessness. However, it is far from a match for your Grandpa Shu. Grandpa Shu has been flattering this fiend since before you were even born. Shu Ligua revealed a kind smile as he looked at Big Red and smiled. Fellow cultivator is? Big Red looked at Shu Ligua with the same smile and clasped his hands. I'm Zhong Big Red. Zhong as in Big Zhong and Red as in Big Red. Their gazes collided at this instant. The smile on Shu Ligua remained unchanged as he withdrew his gaze. Just as he was about to speak, Big Red was a step ahead and said with a look of flattery, "Senior, Junior's Heavenly Thunder Sect has a lot of people. Let me get the things they have to exchange for thunder crystals to give to Senior." After he spoke, he turned around and roared at the Heavenly Thunder Sect members who were gobsmacked at the scene before them. Under his pressure, everything that could be exchanged for thunder crystals was gathered by Big Red and handed to Wang Lin. Wang Lin put it all away, then his eyes flashed an indiscernible amount. He waved his right hand and took out a pill. He casually took out pill he didn't know the value of. It was a pill he had refined from the soul of a rank 4 beast in the Cloud Sea. However, when Big Red saw this, his eyes widened and he exclaimed, "Soul pill. This pill can be exchanged for at least 20,000 thunder crystals and is extremely rare." Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he waved his hand. The pill landed in Big Red's hand. "I give this pill to you. From now on, you will help me collect things to exchange for thunder crystals," Wang Lin said gently. He wasn't going to trade for thunder crystals with his own pills because he would be making the Scatter Thunder clan more powerful. Instead, he was going to use Big Red to collect treasures from the Scatter Thunder clan members and use their own possessions to trade for thunder crystals. Big Red took a deep breath. He held the pill and immediately said, "Senior, rest assured, Junior will do his best." Shu Ligua stared at Big Red with hostility in his gaze. Although he didn't care for the pill, this Big Red was uncomfortable to look at, and his gaze became vicious. "Damn it, you dare to fight with your Grandpa Shu for favor before this fiend? Little brat, you've got guts. Just you wait, your Grandpa Shu will remember you. In almost 2,000 years, none that have tried to fight with your Grandpa Shu for this fiend's favor has had a good fate. Your Grandpa Shu has plenty of time to kill you. I'm going to torment you to death like I tormented Liu Jinbiao." Shu Ligua's eyes lit up and he revealed a dark smile. Time slowly passed on this Scatter Thunder clan planet. In the blink of an eye, Wang Lin had been here for a month now. During this month, he didn't return to the cave, but chose to cultivate in the Heavenly Thunder clan. Over the past month, Shu Ligua and Big Red had begun gathering a large amount of items that could be traded for thunder crystals, with the Heavenly Thunder Sect as the center. With everything that had been gathered, Wang Lin could trade for 100,000 thunder crystals. Shu Ligua rarely got to leave the storage space, so he was extremely excited and began a campaign outside the Heavenly Thunder Sect. He didn't like to act alone, so he always took more than 10 Foundation Establishment Heavenly Thunder Sect disciples, and they moved like locusts. He had used an unknown method to take any core formation cultivator he found under his command. In just 1 month, there were almost 100 Scatter Thunder clan members under him. Shu Ligua seemed to have learned this from somewhere, but he had made them make him a giant bamboo throne. It was 1,000 feet wide and shined brightly with Shu Ligua sitting on top. He also had 4 Scatter Thunder clan female cultivators accompany him. He was extremely arrogant. The dozens of cultivators carried this throne forward. There were also dozens of cultivators on all sides. While moving forward, Shu Ligua specially chose 2 very loud core formation cultivators to roar non-stop. "Grandpa Shu is here. He is imposing, magnificent, unrivaled, handsome, and incomparable." This voice was like thunder. Shu Ligua laughed loudly and felt extremely proud. He was leaning on one female cultivator while eating a fruit from another female cultivator and drinking wine. There were 2 more female cultivators gently massaging his faintly corporeal body. This enjoyment made Shu Ligua very excited. Aside from the 4 female cultivators, there were also 4 very handsome men. They were half kneeling there, also serving Shu Ligua. This is the life. This is the life I, Shu Ligua, should enjoy. That fiend has been going left and right for 2,000 years, but it is Grandpa Shu who is truly happy. Haha, it's your Grandpa Shu who is smart. Life should be enjoyed. As Shu Ligua listened to the roars filled with flattery for himself and enjoyed being served by the female and male cultivators, his entire body felt good. His eyes squinted and he couldn't help but feel melancholy. How long has it been since I've felt this happy? Damn it, if not for that fiend catching me, I could have enjoyed this happy life for years now. Well, Maybe my lifespan would have ended by now. Forget it, what's the use of thinking so much? I must make up for all the life I missed in these 2,000 years. There are too few women. If there can be 100, 1,000, it should be perfect. Add 1,000 handsome men and 10,000 people carrying the throne to roar together for me. That would be perfect. To reach this goal, Grandpa Shu will have to work hard. Shu Ligua was in high spirits. Just at this moment, there was a ray of light flying toward him, and there was a core formation cultivator inside. This person got within 100 feet of the throne and loudly said, "Great Immortal is imposing, magnificent, unrivaled, handsome, and incomparable." With that, he took a breath and quickly said, 50 kilometers ahead is the cave of the late-stage nascent soul-old monster Chen Dongfeng. He seems to have noticed something and has already activated the restrictions. Shu Ligua pinched the face of a female cultivator beside him and proudly said, "Continue moving forward. I'll let you all see how Grandpa Shu deals with a mere nascent soul cultivator." The 50-kilometer distance was crossed quickly. The giant throne covered the sun, creating a huge shadow over the mountain, and gave off a powerful pressure. There was a cave in the middle of the mountain. There was a large amount of restrictions at the entrance, sealing the cave. There were also 8 small flags around the mountain, spinning rapidly and creating black fog. After the throne closed in, Shu Ligua had a self-satisfied look as he slowly raised his right hand. Only after attracting the gazes of all the surrounding cultivators did he wave his hand. With a wave of his hand, the world rumbled and countless sword shadows appeared in the air. The moment they appeared, they let out endless sword hymns, and sword energy scattered everywhere, pushing the clouds apart. Even the world dimmed. Shu Ligua was the sword spirit who had obtained the inheritance of the ancient sword intent. Although he was lazy, when he was sealed in the Four Divine sect by Wang Lin, he was forced to cultivate. Not to mention a mere nascent soul cultivator, ascendant, yin and yang, and even nirvana scryer cultivators were no match for Shu Ligua. With a wave of his hand, as the world rumbled, endless sword energy appeared. The sword energy was extremely dense and made all the surrounding cultivators tremble as if they were surrounded in never-melting ice. Endless sword energy fell on the mountain. The black fog around the mountain immediately collapsed, and when the 8 small flags were going to explode, Shu Ligua grabbed them. That fiend said that no treasure can be damaged. These can be traded for thunder crystals. The sword energy broke through the fog and landed on the mountain. With Shu Ligua's careful control, the sword energy penetrated the mountain, and layers of it fell off until the whole mountain disappeared, leaving only the cave without any walls. It was like a mortal house with its roof taken off. Sitting inside was a middle-aged man who was shocked into a trance by what had happened. Grandpa Shu is here. He is imposing, magnificent, unrivaled, handsome, and incomparable. Loud roars came from the cultivators beside Shu Ligua, and this really exuded an imposing aura. This awakened the middle-aged man who had been frightened into a trance. Obey Grandpa Shu and offer up everything that could be traded for thunder crystals. Disobey and Grandpa Shu will waste your cultivation and imprison you for life. The 2 core formation cultivators with particularly loud voices immediately roared. The middle-aged man stared dumbfoundedly at the throne. The throne was far too big and gave him a powerful pressure. He swallowed hard and didn't hesitate to respectfully clasp his hands. Junior will hand over everything. Shu Ligua laughed. He looked at the middle-aged man and smiled. Good. From now on, follow your Grandpa Shu. I want to ask you, where can I find female cultivators? The middle-aged man felt his scalp go numb under Shu Ligua's gaze, and he had a bad feeling, but he didn't know what to do. When he heard the question, he quickly said, if it's female cultivators, there is a place 5,000 kilometers away with a sect called the Thunder Celestial Sect. It's a sect filled with female cultivators, and its sect master is extremely beautiful. However, her cultivation level is quite high. It is said she has some relationship with an inner member of the clan. The moment Shu Ligua heard beauty, his eyes lit up and he ignored the part about her cultivation level. He waved his hand and roared, lead the way. Come with Grandpa Shu to steal people. Steal treasures. The group of people flew off into the distance. The giant throne was extremely eye-catching in the sun, and Shu Ligua's proud laughter could be heard. There was also the faint roars of almost 100 people. On the other side, Big Red had also begun to collect like crazy. Big Red was only at the soul formation stage, so for him to complete the task, Wang Lin had given him a flying sword. This sword was ordinary, but it was extremely powerful for first-step cultivators. It allowed him to beat mid-stage soul formation cultivators and even hold out for a while against late-stage soul formation cultivators. However, compared to Shu Ligua's arrogance, Big Red was much more cautious. Although he had taken some cultivators with him, he wasn't having a good time. However, he was more familiar with the Scatter Thunder clan and knew what could trade for more thunder crystals. He knew where many caves were located, and adding the pill and the sword Wang Lin had given him, he felt confident. He felt like his chance had come. As long as he could satisfy Wang Lin, perhaps he could get another pill. Thinking about this, Big Red became confident and excited, but he was also secretly on guard against Shu Ligua. He felt that this Shu Ligua was his arch-rival. Damn it, if Senior only had me beside him, it would be godsend for me. I didn't expect to meet this Shu Ligua, who also practices the invincible art. His cultivation level is higher than mine and he is extremely shameless. He must have practiced the invincible art to reach his current cultivation level. However, I, Big Red, won't concede defeat. Although my cultivation level isn't high enough, I have secretly researched the invincible art for hundreds of years and wasn't able to display all of it before. Now, with Shu Ligua here, I have to use 120% of my ability to battle him. The winner is still undecided. Big Red sneered as he brought the people with him and destroyed several caves. He was secretly preparing what to say to Wang Lin in his heart so he could use the invincible art at any moment. I, Big Red, have very high talent in the invincible art. I don't believe I can't beat Shu Ligua. While Shu Ligua and Big Red were gathering, Wang Lin was sitting in the Heavenly Thunder sect with a jade before him. This jade contained a set of cultivation methods used by the Scatter Thunder clan. This cultivation method was called the Great Thunder Stamp. It allowed you to compress all the thunder in your body in exchange for a powerful explosive attack. However, this only worked with the help of the clan mark, and it could help one slowly awaken the clan mark when cultivated for a long time. Wang Lin was studying this cultivation method so he could understand the Scatter Thunder clan's mark. He vaguely felt like learning this would be extremely important in order for him to absorb the eternal thunderbolt. With Wang Lin's powerful divine sense, it didn't take him too long to completely figure it out. Only thunder cultivators could learn this, and its power changed depending on the amount of thunder in one's body. The more thunder there was to compress, the more powerful it became. For example, Big Red could compress the thunder in his body 10 times and get a burst of power. This was common in the Scatter Thunder clan, but if this was in the inner realm on planet Suzaku, he would be one of the most powerful cultivators. However, this was only secondary. To really use the Great Thunder Stamp, one had to reach the second step. Then they could gather thunder from the void and cause the thunder in their body to compress 1,000 or even 10,000-fold. As a result, its power would be heaven-shaking. This was only one of the methods of controlling thunder. It was due to them studying ways of controlling thunder for tens of thousands of years and finding many methods that even though they didn't have a third-step cultivator, they were still one of the great clans in the ancient star system. Wang Lin withdrew his divine sense from the jade. His expression was calm and he began to ponder. The strongest person in the Scatter Thunder clan is the ancestor who is at the 5th heaven's blight and only one step from the 3rd step. Although this step is like the gap between heaven and earth, his strength is unquestionable. If he uses this spell, I wonder how many tens of thousands of times he could compress it. He might even be able to hold off 3rd step cultivators for a moment. While Wang Lin pondered, he memorized the Great Thunder Stamp. As his hands formed a seal, thunderous rumbles echoed and countless bolts of thunder appeared. They were like silver snakes, and they charged for his hand, forming a fist-sized ball of thunder. There were popping sounds coming from the ball of thunder, and it was being constantly compressed. 10-fold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold, 10,000-fold. In the blink of an eye, the ball of thunder had been compressed almost 30,000-fold. The ball of thunder had disappeared and become invisible to the naked eye. Only with your divine sense could you see the ball of thunder that had been compressed 30,000-fold in Wang Lin's hand. Although this body has been modified by me, at most it can only display up to soul formation strength. However, my origin soul is powerful, so it isn't limited by this body, and outsiders can't perceive my origin soul. This is because my origin soul has merged with the thunder here and is on the same level of existence as the eternal thunderbolt. Even if the Scatter Thunder Clan ancestor came, as long as he cultivates the Scatter Thunder Clan mark and the eternal thunderbolt, even with a higher cultivation level, his control over thunder can't match mine. Wang Lin looked at the dust particle-sized ball of thunder and pondered. 30,000-fold of compression is the limit of this body. If I try to intensify it more, this body will immediately collapse. Wang Lin waved his right hand and the dust particle formed by compressing the ball of thunder 30,000-fold silently disappeared. Big Red is a member of the Scatter Thunder Clan, so there is no harm in him acting. As for Shu Ligua, he is not a cultivator, but a sword spirit, so I'll let him be happy. The Scatter Thunder Clan exists within the Thunder Lake, where non-clan members can't enter at all, so they aren't on guard against outsiders. I don't have to be too low-key. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he stopped thinking about this. He closed his eyes and began studying the Scatter Thunder Clan's mark. This Scatter Thunder Clan's marks were all extensions of the Eternal Thunderbolt and had evolved from that power. To study the mark was like indirectly studying the Eternal Thunderbolt. The thunder mark Wang Lin was studying was Yu Fei's. Although Yu Fei had ripped out his mark, it was imprinted in his soul, so it was not something that could be destroyed by just ripping off the flesh. As Wang Lin studied it, he could feel how ancient and powerful the Eternal Thunderbolt was. Just this extension of the Eternal Thunderbolt already contained a large variety of thunder. And just this small mark contained a trace of thunder essence. However, he couldn't absorb this thunder essence. This essence contained a will and seemed to be sleeping, but it was constantly absorbing from the members of the Scatter Thunder Clan. Time slowly passed. Wang Lin had already been in the hall for more than a month. As he continued to research, he vaguely noticed something strange. His eyes slowly opened and revealed exhaustion, but there was a strange light within them. All members of the Scatter Thunder Clan cultivate their mark for countless years, and as the mark awakens more, they obtain endless power and the power to control thunder. While the mark improves their cultivation, at the same time, they are constantly giving their life force and thunder as offering to the Eternal Thunderbolt. This is very similar to Joss Flames. Wang Lin's eyes grew brighter and brighter. If the Eternal Thunderbolt is a third-step cultivator, then entire Scatter Thunder Clan are like disciples for the Eternal Thunderbolt. These disciples all have the marks, and they are constantly cultivating and offering everything. But depending on how much they offer, they get varying cultivation levels in return. All of this is also very similar to the Scatter Thunder ranking in this clan. Wang Lin felt like he had found a heaven-shaking secret. He took a deep breath and muttered, "All the clans in the ancient star system have a mark. This mark isn't always between the eyebrows. The Blue Silk clan has blue hair, but it is also a mark. If all the other ancient star system clans are like the Scatter Thunder clan, then this ancient star system, could it be? Wang Lin's pupils shrank and he suddenly looked up. His gaze pierced through the hall and looked at the world. His gaze was extremely gloomy. Could it be that the ancient star system is a mysterious existence with unimaginable cultivation and a captive place created by it? For example, when Daoist Water and I battled, there was a world that he had created containing 2 billion disciples. There were also cultivation planets there, and to those disciples, Daoist Water was God. The more he guessed, the more his heart felt cold. But his gaze wasn't able to pierce the heavens and the fog surrounding the truth. This is all my speculation. Perhaps it is not as I thought. However, this means that the sealed realm formation is not as the Lord of the sealed realm had said. It wasn't placed there to simply trap the people of the inner realm. Also, the woman in silver said that Joss Flames are poisonous and a scam. Coupled with what Tao Master Blue Dream said about the sovereign being seriously injured by someone in the inner realm with a roar and fleeing in panic. Are all of these connected? What kind of secret shrouds the inner and outer realms? Also, what role did the ancient celestial realm play in all of this? The more Wang Lin thought about this, the more terrified he felt. A rare trembling arose in his mind. He took a deep breath and calmed down. He buried his speculation deep within his heart. No matter if it is true or false, I won't casually cultivate Joss flames. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and became filled with determination. Several days later, Big Red returned before Shu Ligua. Just as he returned to the sect, he immediately changed his expression to one full of excitement and respect. After hearing that Wang Lin was in closed-door cultivation, he immediately arrived before the hall and told everyone to leave. He stood outside the hall by himself and looked extremely vigilant, like he was a royal follower guarding his master. It was as if even if an ascendant cultivator came, they would have to step over his body to enter the hall. Not long after he made his pose, Wang Lin's summon echoed in his mind. He immediately became spirited and turned around. He first patted his clothes to dust his clean outfit and then walked into the hall with a flattering expression. The moment he entered, before he even saw Wang Lin, Big Red excitedly said, "Junior Big Red has gathered a large amount of items that can traded for thunder crystals for Senior." As he spoke, he entered the main hall and touched his mark. The things he had collected over the past month flew out and formed a small mountain. He was spirited as he took a deep breath and excitedly said, "This little one hasn't seen Senior for several weeks. Now that I have seen Senior, I immediately feel refreshed. Just breathing the air that Senior has cultivated in has made me feel like my cultivation level has increased. I only hate that I can't follow Senior at all times. However, doing Senior's bidding is a great honor for Big Red. I wish I could turn into many avatars so I could gather faster." Wang Lin's expression was neutral as he looked at Big Red. He waved his hand and put away everything that could be used to trade for thunder crystals. "Not bad. This is a reward for you." Wang Lin flicked his finger and a pill landed in Big Red's hand. Big Red lowered his head and was shaken. He couldn't cover the excitement as he quickly said, "It is this little one's honor to do things for Senior. Senior is as bright as the sun and moon, even without the reward, this little one would still be pleased to help Senior. Senior, there are only few more days until the day to trade for thunder crystals. The Thunder Crystal Temple will open soon. Should we leave now to trade for some?" Wang Lin pondered a bit and then looked at Big Red with a smile that wasn't a smile before nodding. When Big Red saw Wang Lin agree, he became excited. He had deliberately chosen to come back before Shu Ligua in order to have some time alone with Wang Lin to use his invincible art. He had also decided to take Wang Lin to the Thunder Crystal Temple so that Shu Ligua wouldn't find Wang Lin when he returned. I, Big Red, am about to begin my war with you. I don't believe I can't beat you. As long as Senior accepts me, what are mere things to trade for thunder crystals? If I stick with Senior, I'll seriously gain a lot of benefit. From the looks of it, Senior is intending to get into the Scatter Thunder rankings. Once Senior rises, it will also be the day I make a name for myself. Perhaps there will be a place for I, Big Red, in the Scatter Thunder clan." Big Red had ambition. This was his biggest difference from Shu Ligua. This video will end here.